Hi, here we are, last week of the class. Uh, Obviously, there's no discussion question this week. I want to give you time to read the final chapter and also to do the final exam. The final exam is 35 questions, true, false, and multiple choice. You have 3 opportunities to take the test, with the highest score being the one that gets posted. So that is due by the 17th, which then gives me time to get final grades in. The last chapter of the book talks about public policy, and the thing with a book like this, even when you get a brand new edition, by the time it gets through the editors, by the time it gets printed, uh, more than a year can go by. So obviously, they're not always totally up to date with public policy issues. Uh, as you know, a lot of public policy lately has dealt with the opiate epidemic, uh, which had the effect of not only opening up treatment opportunities, but opening people's minds to treatment and what treatment means and what types of treatment might be given. So it's really been, in a way, something that has opened up the treatment world and treatment opportunities to a lot more people. Uh, Another thing, of course, that's going on right now in public policy is the continuing legalization of marijuana. Uh, Here in Massachusetts, we see more and more uh, cannabis stores opening. There's now one uh, not even a mile from where I used to practice. And with the legalization of marijuana comes a rethinking of what marijuana use means in terms of legality, in terms even of treatment. I remember a time when, of course, if you smoked pot while you were on probation, you violated probation. And that now can be very different. There are undoubtedly some people who, for whatever reason, a specific part of their probation might be that they can't drink alcohol, even though alcohol is legal. And I'm sure that there are some people who probably have a prohibition against marijuana. But I would imagine now most people cannot be violated on their probation because they've smoked marijuana, because marijuana is a legal substance. So, these are issues to consider. Uh, there are people who in the past have advocated for marijuana as a medication to help people to be abstinent from heroin or other opiates. At one time, of course, that was considered wrong because it was illegal. So, these are things that have to be looked at. So, another thing we're looking at is criminal justice reform. A lot of people who had been arrested and jailed for a long period of time for marijuana related offenses are now being released from prison. Ironically, however, having been arrested for selling marijuana now makes you ineligible to legally sell marijuana. So these are things to be looked at. There's a concern that the marijuana industry has become big business, and that just as people used to talk about big tobacco and talk about big pharma, people talk about big cannabis, big marijuana, because you have corporations who invest in marijuana businesses, and there's some fear of some people actually cornering the market. So these are all things that have to be considered. As far as the test goes, just be sure to read the chapter. I did give you a study guide, and I recommend that you look at that study guide. But again, when you go to take the test, you do have 3 opportunities to take it with the highest score posting. I want to thank you for a wonderful semester and hope you have a great rest of the summer, and wish you the best of luck in your lives going forward. Take care.